Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are diving into something that's, well, absolutely essential for any big company that wants to turn great ideas into actual results. It's called enterprise architecture. And yeah, it might sound a little technical, but trust me, it's one of the most powerful tools a leader can possibly have. All right, let's get into it. But before we do, I've got a question for you. What in the world could a famous, spooky, haunted mansion have to do with your business strategy? It sounds a little nuts, I know, but it is the absolute perfect place to start this conversation. So let me introduce you to the Winchester Mystery House. The story goes that Sarah Winchester, the heiress to the rifle fortune, thought she was being haunted by the ghosts of everyone killed by her family's invention. So to throw them off her trail, she just kept building her house nonstop, 24/7 for 36 years. And get this, there was no blueprint, no master plan. She'd just wake up and tell the crew what to build that day. The result? It's a total maze. We're talking staircases that slam into ceilings and doors that open up onto nothing. Just a wild, sprawling, 160-room mess. And that house? It's a dead-on metaphor for what happens inside a business when you build without an architecture. You know, when every department just reacts, putting out fires, chasing the next shiny object, all without a master plan. Well, you end up with your very own Winchester house, a super complex, confusing, and unbelievably expensive tangle of systems and processes that just don't fit together. And that leads us smack into the middle of the one problem pretty much every single leader has to deal with. The strategy execution gap. You've got this amazing, brilliant vision for where the company needs to go, but actually making it happen, that is a huge, huge challenge. So here's a number that, well, it should make you pause. 95%. And according to research cited in the Harvard Business Review, this number shows just how big that gap really is. That's right, 95%. In most companies, the vast majority of people who are supposed to be doing the work don't actually get the strategy. Can you imagine trying to build a bridge if 95% of your team has a totally different blueprint, or maybe no blueprint at all? That, in a nutshell, is the strategy execution gap. Okay, so how do we fix this? How do we build that bridge from the strategy talks in the boardroom to the actual work happening every single day? Well, the answer is enterprise architecture, or EA. It is the strategic blueprint that so many companies are missing. Now, let's be super clear about what EA actually is. It is not just some complicated IT chart. No, you should think of it as the organizing logic for the entire business. It's the master plan. It answers the most important questions, like how do our business processes and our technology actually work together to get us where we want to go? What do we absolutely have to standardize, and where can we afford to be different? It's what makes sure everyone is pulling in the same direction. So this strategic bridge, it stands on 4 big pillars. You start with business architecture. That's what your business actually does. Then you've got data architecture, how all your critical information moves around. Supporting that is the application architecture, the software that makes work happen. And holding it all up is the technology architecture, the hardware, the servers, the networks. Put them all together and you've got your complete blueprint. But look, building this kind of bridge, it doesn't just happen with the snap of your fingers. It's a journey. In fact, researchers have mapped out 4 really clear stages of maturity that organizations go through as they get better and better at this. You can think of it kind of like running a race. You can't just teleport to the finish line, right? Each stage builds on the one before it. It takes new skills, new ways of thinking, and a whole new level of learning for the entire organization. It's a progressive journey. So let's see how this actually plays out. Most places start at stage 1, what we call business silos. That's the Winchester house, right? Every department for itself. Then things get a bit better at stage 2, standardized technology, where the focus is on IT efficiency, maybe sharing some infrastructure to save a few bucks. But stage 3, that's a huge leap. It's the optimized core, where you standardize data and processes across the entire company. And the ultimate goal? Stage 4, business modularity. This is where you get real strategic agility. You can just plug and play different business pieces to innovate and react at incredible speed. Okay, so we get the journey, but let's talk about the payoff. What are the real, tangible benefits of getting this right? how does a mature enterprise architecture practice actually deliver cold, hard value to the business? And this is it. This is the big question that every single leader is going to ask, and they should. It all sounds great, but how do you actually prove the return on investment? How do you put a number on it? Well, the secret is to connect all your technology spending directly to what the business actually does. And you do that by creating something called a business capability map. It's really just a simple blueprint of your company's core functions. Things like manage customer orders or process payroll. Once you have that map, you can link every single piece of tech, every dollar spent, to a specific business capability. And all of a sudden, you have a crystal clear line of sight from spending to results. And this lets you measure the impact at two different levels. At the strategic high-level view, you're tracking the big stuff, total IT cost savings, the cost of your entire tech portfolio. But you can also get really granular on the operational side. You can literally count how many redundant apps you've shut down, or put a dollar amount on how much risk you've cut by getting rid of old, obsolete tech. And when you nail this, the results can be just mind-blowing. I mean, look at this number, 800%. No, that is not a typo. That is the actual real-world return on investment that a global NGO saw from their EA program in the first year alone. By finding massive cost savings and getting everyone aligned, they proved just how powerful this can be financially. All right, so now let's turn our eyes to the future. Because as we all dive headfirst into the age of AI, the ideas behind enterprise architecture are more critical than they have ever been. In fact, EA is becoming the discipline you need to architect an AI-powered future. You know, there's a really interesting disconnect happening in boardrooms right now. Gartner found that over 80% of CEOs see AI as a tool for top-line growth. But their CIOs, they mostly see it as a way to boost productivity. And that gap, that difference in what they expect, that's exactly where a good architecture comes in, to provide the blueprint to aim AI at the right strategic target. And look, this isn't science fiction anymore. Architects are already using AI for some incredibly high-value stuff. I mean, imagine using AI to automatically figure out the best places to invest, or to generate your business roadmap for the next 3 years. They're using it to run super complex what-if scenarios for the whole company, and to spot threats and opportunities in the market faster than any team of humans ever could. So here's the real takeaway for the future. The next evolution of EA isn't just about being more efficient. It's about using AI to help the entire business make smarter and faster strategic choices. In this new world, enterprise architecture basically becomes the brain that powers the AI-driven company. And that brings us right back to where we started. Your organization has a strategy, it has a vision. The real question is this: is your architecture actually ready to build it? Or are you just adding another staircase to nowhere in the mystery house, hoping that your competitors don't catch up? Thanks for joining me on The Explainer.